All right, ladies and gentlemen, in EDU 410, this is Jared Berg, and what I want to do today is talk through your practicum experience. We are about a month into the course, and we are hoping to finalize all of your practicums this week. I'm going to be able to give practicum teacher placement information to some of you at the end of this video. Not all of you, I apologize for that. But keep talking to me. As soon as I have those placements, I will do what I can to get those to you as well, so that you can begin planning March, April, and the very first part of May in order to complete those 12 required hours. So here I am on our MyUSF EDU 410 course page, and two additional reminders. I do have links posted to the SDAMLE Educator Scholarship up on the top. And so this is, I believe, a $250 scholarship that all of you are able to apply for. There should be a link to some kind of Google type forms, and then you're able to submit it. The second link here is for you to register for your student membership into SDAMLE. And what I'm going to need to have you do is to complete that yet this week, or early into spring break, because I need to actually get that money from you, and then I need to communicate your email addresses, your identities essentially, to the SDAMLE. So everything is set up should you wish to attend the Ed Camp at the end of March. So just one more plug for the SDAMLE. I think it would be a great thing for all of you to consider joining if you are able to spare the $10. Then what I want to do is I want to go down to the middle school practicum. I want to open this up, and you will see my video right here. I'm recording it now, so it's not present on the course page. But what I've provided is a link, and this link, if I click on it, will take me to the staff directory for the Sioux Falls School District. What's handy about this is when you are assigned a teacher that you have been placed with for your practicum, you are going to be able to go here and search by last name, first name, or whatever, and actually get their Sioux Falls School District or state email address. So I'm going to give you the name. I'm not necessarily going to give you their email address, but if it's someone in Sioux Falls at one of the Sioux Falls middle schools, then you're going to be able to access that link. If it's somebody in Brandon Valley, if it's somebody at O'Gorman or Sioux Falls Christian, then my advice to you is to consult their website. Just go ahead and do a Google search for Sioux Falls Christian in South Dakota or O'Gorman Junior High in South Dakota, and do a little bit of digging. If you still have struggles, then come and talk to me. But I would ask you to go through that first. Next thing that I want to talk about are all of these documents over here on the right side, and I have briefly addressed all of these in class, but I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to pull them up so that you can see them. The first one here is a letter that I am going to give you a paper copy of following spring break, and this is one that I will also email out to all of your practicum teachers. But this explains, from my point of view, to the teacher what the goals and what your roles are in their classroom. So I encourage you to read it just to make sure you're aware of exactly what you're supposed to be doing and how this whole thing works, this experience for you. The second thing that I want to pull up then is the Practicum Log, and this is what I'm going to ask you to complete each time that you go and visit your middle school site. And so all you need to do is put the date, the hours that you were there. If you were there for 1 hour or 2 hours, there's a spot for the teacher initial. You don't necessarily need to get that every single time, but there's a spot for that. And then I ask you to just take some notes to answer these questions listed above. So here's the first part, and here's the second part over here. Now the idea of this, I will be collecting these, and you will get a small number of points just for completing this. The hope is that as you're going into your practicum site each week, you are looking for things, and you're observing things, and you're recognizing things. Maybe some of them are positive, maybe some of them are negative, maybe some of them are concerns or fears of yours, maybe some are good teaching ideas, but the idea is you're writing them down. Because as much as you think you're going to remember something from early March, when you write your final practicum reflection over all of this in May, quite a bit of time has passed. And so this will be helpful for you to revisit as you try to think about specific instances where certain aspects of good teaching or certain ideas that have come up in our textbook or our quizzes or our reading or our conversation, you will be able to pull these for examples. Now, you can certainly, if you have a tablet or a laptop, you can take that in with you to the classroom. You could type this up kind of towards the tail end of your observation. You could also print this out, and you could extend the boxes a little bit so that you can just take a paper copy in, or you could certainly wait until you return home after your practicum visit and then fill this out. The important thing is that you're doing it, and you're doing it soon after that experience while everything is still fresh in your mind. Next piece is the student evaluation. And this is important because this is in some ways my only accountability for your sort of behavior and attendance at your practicum site. So I will be sending this out along with the initial letter to all of your practicum teachers in the middle of March here. But this is also something that you will want to hand deliver to them, especially towards the end of your practicum. And then their option is to either fill it out digitally, email it to me, fill it out by hand, scan it, take a picture of it, whatever, send me a pic or a PDF, or they're able to give it back to you and then you're able to return it to me. But I would encourage you, again, to read through that and just to make sure that you're aware of the expectations for your behavior and your promptness during the practicum. Final one then here. Final document is your final practicum reflection rubric. And so you can see here what the expectations are at the end of your practicum experience. This is what your final looks like. It is one giant written paper where you are reflecting upon that experience, incorporating textual evidence from our textbook or articles using APA, and you are responding to a couple of these questions over here. You get a little bit of voice and choice in what you're going to be talking about, but I wanted to share this with you at the beginning so that you're aware of the expectations and what is coming down the road for you regarding your practicum. So when it comes to the practicum experience for EDU 410, the requirements are 12 hours of experience in a middle school setting where you are completing your practicum log. At the end of that 12 hours, your teacher will complete a practicum student evaluation over you, and then at the very end of your experience, you will submit to me a final practicum reflection. All right, let's get into your practicum placements. And here's what I have at this time. Unfortunately, I don't have all of you placed. I've explained to you that this is a process, and so we are dependent upon other teachers and administrators responding to us. What I can give you is this, which shows those of you highlighted in green where your placement is and who your placement teacher is as well. So let's take a look at it here. For those of you who don't have it, we're still working on you, okay? But Charlotte, we've placed you at Edison with Sarah Bross. Emma is going to be at O'Gorman with Amy Lynch. It looks like we have an email address for her. Abby, you will be at Edison with Sherry. Naomi will also be at Edison with Natalie Tufty, and it looks like she is the one you're going to contact, but there might be two teachers involved in that, perhaps job sharing. Cassie's going to be at Edison with Betsy, and Caitlin will be at O'Gorman with Melanie. That's all I have at this point on Monday, March 2nd. Please check back with me in order to try to get your placement. So as soon as we are able to get a hold of those teachers, you can see here this is actually should be two. It's not January, it's February. But these are the dates at which the teachers have been contacted. And so I would imagine Brooke is going to try to contact them yet again here the first week of March. So for those of you who are in green, my encouragement to you would be to go ahead and over spring break, get a hold of that teacher, try to set up a time for an initial meeting where you can go in and kind of meet them, maybe without students the first time, just to kind of get a feel for where the class is and the school and so on. Or you just come in guns blazing and you hit the ground running with students in the classroom and observe for 1 or 2 hours. So that's what I have for you folks for your practicum experience. I hope you have a wonderful and safe spring break, and I will see you back in EDU 410 on Monday, March 16th.